I mean, everywhere's. We'll
Hey,
let you
everybody.
try and guess where we are.
I know.
Guess where
Everybody
we
will know.
are?
Yeah,
I'm
guess
not
where I
there.
am. I'm sitting in my BOGP studio, aka Paige's old bedroom, which I try to make fancy. Okay, so now we are live on all the places. Happy Monday, everybody. Look where Pam
All
is.
the places.
That's where Pam is. She's in a Disney commercial. That's actually the background they have in the latest Disney commercial.
It is.
They should follow me around for a while, and I will give them a Disney commercial.
Yes. The newest commercial has all it is really is just videos of people getting engaged.
It is. I do love it. I think it's really cool that they are able to sort of capture that emotional piece of the vacation. You know what I mean? We've all had those fantastic moments there, but
you know what they're missing in that commercial? Now I'm totally biased though, is that they need a Run Disney moment. They need somebody not like they need just like old dude crossing the finish line.
So do you have anyone you want to nominate?
Yeah,
for
I
that,
was gonna say,
old dude, it's sketchy whether he'll actually make it to the end of the race every time he starts the race, and it's because you want those once in a lifetime moments. It's like, oh my god, I actually made it. Thank God.
They should have showed your fall and then your subsequent cross of the finish line.
Amen. I get that little bonus every morning in the shower. I get to recall that moment every time that soap hits my knee on that scab. Exactly. I'm like, God bless Disney California Adventure Speed Bump.
Burn. Too funny.
And my wife keeps bringing it up to everybody. I was over in Sandy and Andy's house the other day. My brother and sister-in-law were over their house seeing my nephew, and she's, I'm telling him about the races, and he's like, I might do coast to coast next year. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And Pam's like, yeah, Mike fell. I'm like, dude, 70 miles too. I didn't fall every time. I fell for 10 seconds, out of the whole experience. I went all across the country. Yeah, I did fall, but it wasn't the whole thing. I mean, she makes it like I'm an idiot, the only thing I did was fall. I crawled the whole race. No, I did fall, but for the majority of the time, I was on 2 feet.
You were upright most of the time,
right?
Embarrassing. Anyway, if you guys have questions, we will attempt to answer those. We have some in the inbox that are kind of piling up, so we're going to go after those too. Pam is, of course, down at Walt Disney World. She's at the Polynesian, so don't feel bad for her.
No.
Yeah. And I can smell Ohana from here. It's literally, I swear they're pumping it right into my room.
So that was the one thing that I
you're killing
I totally missed out on. I should have done it, but I was so tired because I'd gotten up so early for the half marathon that day to cheer, and I should have gone. And they have the ability to get the bread pudding as a mobile order for Kona, right?
A takeout.
It's a takeout. Yes. And I saw that on there, and I'm like, oh, I should totally get that bread pudding and bring it back to the room. And then by the time I got back to the hotel, I was like, I'm too tired for bread pudding. And I was like, I'll get it the next day before I leave. And then I just didn't have the opportunity to get it that day. I'm like, dang it, I should have gotten it.
So first of all, Fitz is here real quick, and shout out Fitz. I appreciate you. I love you, and thank you for doing what you do and encouraging everybody. It's so glad to have you here. By the way, I don't think I cursed because the thing jumped up and bit me. So they didn't have oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? Riley's recording they have at Walt Disney World, runners, speed bump ahead, caution. So they had cast members on either side of it.
Oh.
You're supposed to be telling you, look out for the speed bump. And after I fell, I heard them tell each other, oh my God, because they were talking to each other. They're like,
oh, so they failed you.
They're like, we're supposed to be telling everybody there's a speed bump here, because it was totally dark and you couldn't see it.
Oh my God.
I did hear them way as I was coming. They were, when it was way down the line, I heard them yelling at some people up there, but you couldn't tell where it was because it wasn't really well marked. Anyway, probably I did curse because I'm a former hockey player, and that just stuff does come out. I was more cursing because I tore a big old hole in my favorite tights because it was cold that morning and I had my good Brooks tights. But the thing was, they all tried to help me up, and then I felt like I was like an 85-year-old dude in a nursing home. I was like, no, nobody help me up because I'm not getting disqualified from this race. I'm going to finish this dang thing, all 13 miles of it, and nobody's touching me.
You're lucky they didn't give you like a Mr. Fredrickson's like walker.
All the way down the LA River later on when I had to go under a train. It was like a 50% grade. It was, I saw that and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be well. Because we went down this thing, no kidding. Like we were by Angel Stadium, okay, but kind of by where the Ducks play and the Angels, the baseball team, both. There's like a stadium complex. And I saw we're running along this like LA River, which is like a creek, but it says like on the pavement as we're coming into it, steep grade, right, for the cars.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, it's not that bad. Then all of a sudden I was like, oh, because this was like at mile 10 and my legs are just done because I've already done the dopey. I've done all the Disneyland. I'm going so hard, blah, blah, blah. That thing turns into, it was like the old racetrack at Walt Disney World where you had to go under the grandstand. Dude, you're going like straight down and straight up. I was like, I'm going to bite it so hard at the bottom of this hill because the hardest thing to do when your legs are totally shot is like slow yourself down. You can't decelerate. Man, I barely made it through that. I was like, this is going to be my second crash of one race. And this one's going to be way worse than that one because like there's so many people around. And at that point, there's no cast members, dude. You're just going to be a carcass. Like the buzzards are going to come out of the river and just, you're just dead. Like
the wildlife, you'll be food for the wildlife.
100%. But I'm pretty sure the Amazing Race started there once. I'm almost positive. But anyway, Phil Keegan was not there.
No.
Let's do a show. I know the shame. It was, man. It was the shame. I was like, oh, God, I'm such an idiot. Like, get that guy's number. He's never doing another race. So I'm going to have to go under assumed name now, I guess. I will be, I'll be like the Frenchman. Mikhail, or like Russian. Michel Roman.
I know Hannah has a little boy in her class. His name is Henrik, and I said, no, his name is Enrique.
Enrique is related to one of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Right. And speaking of Mike, we saw a pretty awesome St. Louis Blues jersey with Mickey on it down here.
Cool.
Now Steve's on the hunt. He wants one, of course, with the Penguins.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I don't know where we're going to find that, but.
Well, Google has, you can find it.
I know, right?
All right,
he wants it to be here.
Well, that's something to, goals.
Right.
All right, 24-28. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2428 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having an awesome week here as we wrap up the 65-day month known as January.
Yes.
Or Gloominary, as we call it here in the Midwest. Man, the sun was gone for 39 consecutive days, but it has finally come back out. So it was not just a rumor that there was a big glowing orb in the sky. It has returned, and we are very happy for that. So we are going to have a great time answering your listener questions today to get you between here and spring training. And we are not going to talk football because our fourth member of the team who is, not here today, we're giving him some time. That wasn't pretty. So we love you, Scotty G. And I have not texted him yet because too soon. So we'll get him through this. And I have had listeners reach out and say, should we send him a care package? And that's our Be Our Guest podcast family. I am not kidding. We love each other. And I'm a Mizzou fan. Been there many times. And we just love each other. But man, all you need at this point is space. So that's what's going to happen. So we have our friends here, Rikki, joining us from themouseforless.com. Rikki, happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Oh, happy Wednesday. This is like month 3,558. It feels like because, man, I guess I should say day 3,558 in this month because it is just, it's been a rough January with sickness and everything else. It's just, it's definitely been rough, but it's all good because I can officially say, and I know this goes to nothing that has to do with Disney, but just me and my personal life. I am officially going to see Justin Timberlake in June, and I'm a happy girl. So, so that makes me very, very happy. There's new Justin Timberlake music in the world. I love it, and yeah, that's just my other life is the Justin Timberlake side of things. So, been in love with him since I was 15, baby. It ain't going anywhere now.
Is that free concert that he's doing for one night up in New York, or?
No, so he actually had a free concert in Memphis. That was where he debuted Selfish, which is his new song. But then he has so his free concert is tonight when this yes, tonight when this airs. And it's in celebration of his birthday, which is today technically. I know way too much. Yeah, his birthday is January 31st. He's 43 today, so I may have been a little obsessed and still am.
Rikki, okay, here's your analogy for today. Then we're getting to Pam. Rikki is to Justin Timberlake as Alfred is to Debbie Gibson.
This is true. I maybe a little less. I maybe a little less. Yeah. Maybe but maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? But Diane is correct. He was a former Mouseketeer. That is absolutely right. I actually have. So I have VHS tapes from back when NSYNC was really popular. And they had aired an entire block of time on the Disney Channel, and they were all those Mickey Mouse Club episodes. I have almost all of them on VHS because I was like, I'm going to record these now. So, yep, I have them somewhere. I should get them digitized, to be perfectly honest.
Real quick, the teacher across the hall, Dave, he taught 5th grade. I taught 6th grade. He was one of our Pod D Alliance, we called it. We had 8 teachers in our pod, best friends with Pam and myself. We all taught together. He won $750 at a karaoke contest on a school night on a Thursday night when we were teaching together, singing "Bye Bye Bye" at 2:00 in the morning on a Thursday night. We all had school the next day.
Here's
the principal was in the crowd.
That
was a rough Friday.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
But the principal was there, so it was all good.
So I actually won tickets to see NSYNC in concert back in the day. But we had to call the radio station and sing a song. It was in the morning show. And so I got my mom up at 5 a.m, which, me waking up Donna at 5 a.m. is not great. And she's like, if you get through, wake me up, because you had to sing with your parent. Wake me up and I'll sing with you. And I got through and I ended up singing Bye Bye Bye. And the only reason we lost, is because a little girl called in with her dad and they sang God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You. And how can you compete against a little girl when you're in high school? So they gave me consolation prize of, that was for 4 tickets. I ended up getting other tickets. I had tickets to the concert anyway, but yeah. So anyway, I had 1 ticket to see.
I love that song.
Bye Bye Bye. It has so many layers. When you listen to that song now as an adult, you're like, dude, that song has layers. So.
All right. I have a theory about a new song. I was thinking about a new song, but we're not getting into it today. Pam Forrester is killing it at life right now. If you're watching the video, and by the way, every one of our shows is on YouTube, and you get pre-show, you get post-show, you get more content, you get unedited content. Just go to youtube.com/BeOurGuestPodcast, and you get all the video. You get cool stuff. But today, if you see the video, you know exactly where Pam Forrester is. She'll let us know. Connor, the magic for less travel, living the big life, living the sweet life, we should say, just like Zach and Cody, freshly returned from Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's newest ship, the biggest ship in the world. Now, I mean, I don't know how you top that, but I guess you just go to the Polynesian. What's up, Pam Forrester?
I know. Here's my key card to prove I was there. Yes, we did. Just returned from the Icon, which was a fantastic ship. I'm just blown away. Still, I'm processing so much about the ship. I'm there, all the decks, 20 decks, all the staterooms we toured, all the restaurants we ate at. My liver's recovering a little bit too. So I mean, it was a party for sure. And we got to see Messier, christen the ship. The Michael Bailey was there. It was just a big deal. So glad
you got to see Messier, like the hockey player.
The soccer player who was, or
Oh,
You mean
that's
Messier, Messi, like
Messi.
like the
That's it.
super hockey, like the guy that plays for Miami?
Yeah.
the soccer
Messi.
player. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
The biggest soccer player in the world, like Apple.
Yes,
has
he's
Yes.
the
only-
godfather of the ship.
Leo
Oh.
Messi, yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Holy smokes.
Wow.
Leo Messi,
He's
yes.
a big deal. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about like the
No,
guy that
no.
plays for the Rangers.
I
like,
did. I
the hockey
misspoke.
player.
Yes, Messi, yes.
I mean, we're
yes.
all kind of Midwestern. We can't really say like those
Right. I know. Right.
Exactly.
Right, no, for sure. No, really cool. Yes, not Messier, Messi. But anyways,
Messi.
yes,
It's Messi. That's what, like Messier. I'm like, is because there was a guy that there was a hockey player named that.
I want it to be like more like, I want to extend the name into something else. But anyways, yes.
I'm like, was he like, bam?
I'll be honest, not a soccer fan myself, but I understand that it's popular.
Joe Laszlo is killing us right now.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Joe Laszlo.
Sorry, Joe.
He's unsubscribed. Hang in there, Joe. Come on back, buddy.
He literally could have been in the elevator with me, and
You wouldn't have even known
it.
He probably was in the elevator with you and you didn't have a clue. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably. Yes, this is all probably true. So, anyways, but yes, and now I am at the Polynesian. I can hear the children there in the green space. I can smell Ohana. There are meats cooking somewhere that is wafting all through. And I like, how you can smell like the little gas from the tiki torches too.
Yeah.
Like it's all pretty good. So
Smells like it's a combination of good food and 1970s Walt Disney World. The gas.
yes,
like this probably isn't totally safe, but I mean it's nostalgic.
right. Look at Diane trying to help me out here. You're right, Diane. It is Mark Messier.
Yeah, Mark Messier.
And Leo Messi.
It would be like in the Midwest, you say Mark Messier.
Messier.
Anyway, let's get to the questions. That's why you're here. Trisha has a question. She's up in Wisconsin. Question about getting a car rental when you're leaving your Disney trip. We're taking a ride share into the Disney bubble and using Disney transportation during our trip. However, we're extending our vacation by then driving to the Kennedy Space Center. The cost doesn't justify having a car just sit in a resort parking lot for 5 days. Is there car rentals closer to Disney property than having to go all the way back to MCO?
Hi, yes, there is.
Yeah, we do this all the time. There is actually at the Car Care Center, you can rent Alamo, National, and I believe Enterprise as well. And the great thing is that after when you set that up, you can actually call them and they will arrange to come and pick you up at your Disney resort and or drop you off if need be. So that's a huge plus for those people wanting to sort of rent a car for part of their time. You can do that very, very easily. And they're super nice there.
That's good that they're nice. I'd hate it.
I know it is. It is. We just did it the other day. We dropped one off and then we're picking another one up when we're done. But yeah, they dropped us off at Epcot. So it's a good deal.
All right. Jody's got a question in Cincinnati. Hey, Mike, Pam, Rikki, and hashtag Scotty G. Our family's going to be at Walt Disney World for Easter this year, and we've never been during a major holiday. Are there Magic Kingdom fireworks or the normal show, or do they do anything different for Easter? What are some unique offerings happening at that time that we should not miss? Thanks, Jody. And I know, Rikki, this is kind of something that's like a minor celebrated holiday at Walt Disney World, but it's also announced kind of late in the game, right?
Well,
if they do anything. I mean, it's mostly like stuff at the Grand Floridian with like eggs. And
so actually, Easter, yes, you're right. Easter is always kind of like a very underrated holiday at Disney. They do have the Easter eggs that are like, they're made out of chocolate and other really cool confections. And I mean, what they can do with these eggs are just ridiculous. I mean, they are so incredibly beautiful. And most of them are Disney related, but some of them are not. They have other themes to them. They are, if you're in the area and you can go by the Grand Floridian to see these eggs, you must do it. Like they are incredible. They also sometimes have eggs at other resorts, but you never really know until because they really don't put them out except for like maybe a couple days before Easter. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Easter's not like the biggest holiday for Walt Disney World. They don't celebrate it in a huge manner. The other thing that they do, and again, this is very minimal, I'm talking like you got to be there one of 2 days to be able to see this.
Here's what I found.
Oh, Siri's talking to me. So you got to be there 1 of 2 days to be able to see this, and they do usually a special Easter pre-parade at the Magic Kingdom. It's a really cool parade. I love it. We have it actually on the Mouse for Less, a video of it from a few years ago. It's such a cute little parade. They have some characters that aren't usually out, like the characters from Fantasia are usually in it. You got Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny, that kind of stuff. They used to have the Azalea Trail Maids. I don't think they've had them there for a few years, but that was always.
I think when Nick Saban retired, like they had to retire.
yeah. That was a few years ago that they had those, but that was always really cool as well. But the parade is a really, really awesome thing if you get the chance to see it. But like I said, they only show it for the Saturday before Easter and the Sunday of Easter, and that's it. And then they only allow you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny basically those 2 days as well, and they're at the Magic Kingdom
and they're adorable.
They are so stinking cute. I wish they had them out a little bit longer. Like, wouldn't that be so awesome if they had
more plush?
If you say that, though, then they'll be out for like 3 months. Like, seriously,
that's okay. Let the Easter bunnies be out.
Can't they be Easter and spring?
Exactly.
No.
I agree with Pam.
They're so cute.
They could be out for Easter and spring. I'm with you.
And more merch.
And,
sorry,
yeah.
I said what I said.
Do we need a Spirit jersey?
Yes.
No, we do not need a Spirit jersey.
We get it for everything else.
We do. Amen to that. That's true.
And let me tell you, this week you could be wearing a couple of them because it's a little chilly here. So.
I'm sure you could find one.
Probably just one or two.
I'm saying. Yes. Okay. So yeah, enjoy. I mean, I guess you know everything will be pastels. But then you got Mother's Day, where sometimes they hand out flowers to the mom.
They have. I went on Mother's Day was it last year? I went a couple years ago, and they did not hand out flowers. So maybe they ran out. I don't know.
Maybe they should have Mr. and Mrs.
Easter Bunny.
Maybe
handing them out.
That's true.
Okay. Shout out to Len, because Len is one of my guests over at the Magic for Less. He is currently celebrating just an awesome vacation with his family, staying over at the boardwalk. And every morning, Len has sent me pictures from the previous day and updates of what he's doing with his family. And they're just having the best time, having meals like at places like Boma, Cape May, riding all the rides. And just, I love Len. He's one of our listeners. He's always in here when we record the shows in the chat. And I just want to give him a shout out, saying that he makes my day, because I kind of tackle the inbox every morning and I get this email. It really does spark my day to see like 4 or 5 pictures of him with his family. You know, you got the picture of the family with the new Walt statue and Epcot. It just like seeing the joy on their faces, because he's been looking forward to this trip for 9 months, you know, getting to be there with the squad. And he's got this, like, he wore a shirt yesterday as we're recording that said, "Thank you, cast members." And he wrote me in the email the interactions he had with cast members throughout the day that saw the shirt. And, you know, because it was just a kind thing. Pam, I mean, you get to see this because, you know, I see it from the perspective of one travel agent for my, you know, the guests I work with, but you see it from like, you know, a higher level with all the travel agents. And it's a joy when somebody takes a few minutes to just say, "Hey, we had a good time on our trip." And when Len did that for me this week, and it really made me happy. It did it every day. We don't expect it every day, but it sure was a great way to start the week.
It is. It's like, it's fantastic. And I love, you know, we sort of share some of those comments with our team, and pictures and videos that we get. And one of our agents actually shared one that we can't share socially, but I thought I'd tell the story about, our agent Rachel had shared that one of her guests had an older adult child that had special needs and has always loved Crush, and got to do the turtle talk.
Awesome.
And it was one of those videos that when you see it, like, I think it made everyone who watched it cry, first of all. And you could tell that the cast member who was helping him talk to Crush was right there with all of us.
That's
and that
awesome.
I mean, like, you just get to see that. And I think I don't know, it's something that I always try to do, but like remember to focus on the little small things. Like we have our window right here, we can hear sort of lots of people milling about the Polynesian, and you just hear the little kids going, "Look at that pool!" Or like watched the fireworks the other night. We were on the Polynesian beach, and there was a family sort of sitting next to us. And it was one of those things that the parents had planned for forever, right? They were going to eat at Ohana and then go sit and watch the fireworks, right? Well, their little ball of fire had no interest in sitting down and watching anything. And I was thinking to myself, oh, this is one of those moments as a parent where you just want to be like, I'm doing this for you. Like, we planned this thing. It didn't work out, but they were actually able to go with it and sort of go with the flow and just sort of appreciate, that he was like doing what he wanted to do and really just having a great time. But I think it's just such a great reminder, stuff like that like you can't always plan for the magic to happen, but it's always there.
Yeah.
So.
It is. And when you see those parents, you just like, for us, right? Like, we've been there, right? Like,
Yes.
that with Mallory at one point.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I've been there, man. Just hang in there. It's going to be fine. Because likely it's their first time going through it. And it's like, oh, my vacation is ruined. It's like, no, it's not.
They were good.
It is. Like,
yeah.
You think your world's coming to an end, but you hang in there. Tomorrow.
It's true.
And
the cast member.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cast member had passed out little bags of chips, and the kid had that chip. And at one point he comes back and he brings the bag back to his dad, and his dad's like, did you put sand in this on purpose?
Yeah, it's like these are extra. Are these like kettle chips? Like, extra
what this greedy stuff?
And here's what my wife would be. My wife would be like, if the kid's not crying, dude, just suck it up and eat the sand. I'm like, shut up, I'm gonna choke.
The kid went with it though. He was like, yep, I did.
My wife would be making me eat those chips with the sand if the kid ain't crying. I'd be like, you trying to kill me, Pam?
I might have fake ate the chips somehow. And then, dropped it on the ground. Yeah,
right.
That might have been what I ended up doing.
She's not crying. Just scarf them down. Just get a Coke Zero when you're done.
Oh,
But it's gonna hurt later. Yeah, you'll be fine. Anyway, Howard's got a question over on YouTube. Hey, Mike, where in Disney does the January 5K route run? It's actually a great race. It starts now in the Epcot parking lot where they all start now, which is great. We don't have to walk out to Timbuktu in January for any of the races. Thank you, Run Disney.
That's good. That's good.
So nice. And basically, you just run out on the roads there, kind of around the outside of Epcot, and you run through World Showcase and back into the finish line, and you are done. It's a great run because basically you spend the 5K in World Showcase.
That's great.
So that is a great run for January. So I would encourage you, if you're thinking about doing it, do that one. It is a good time. Let's see here. Samantha's got a question. And hello. I'm staying off property for the first time since Genie Plus has been introduced. Can I still book at 7 a.m.? Anybody? I've been so long. I haven't thought about
Genie
off-site.
Plus, no, right? You have to be, if you're staying on property, you can book at 7, but if you're staying off property, I think it's 9. Am I wrong?
I believe it's when the park
opens.
Right?
Yeah. I was just thinking 9 because usually that's when the park opens, but I think Animal Kingdom sometimes opens at 8:30. So yeah, that's what the case is. So if you're off property, not 7. It's
all righty. And Elizabeth's got a question. Hey, Mike, Rikki, Pam, and Scott, or whoever is there today. Well, here's who's here. I'm Elizabeth. You may or may not remember that I called in last year with a question about taking my family of 11 to Trader Sam's for my 50th birthday trip. Your tips helped, and the entire vacation, including Trader Sam's, was a huge success.
Yay.
I'm taking my daughter to Walt Disney World in March for her birthday as a senior trip to celebrate her upcoming high school graduation. Congratulations on that. I'd like to book a capture your moment photo session in the Magic Kingdom. It says that photos are not included in the price of the session, but that prints and downloads can be purchased separately online. Does that mean that they are not included with our Memory Maker package? As always, love the podcast. I listen while I'm walking or driving, and it always feels like I'm having a conversation with friends. Thank you, Elizabeth in North Carolina. I love that. That just made my day too. Like that we're friends. We're just kind of hanging out, talking together. And that's the goal of the show. Just to kind of be hanging out together, talking Disney here on a Wednesday. And by the way, 10 and 2 if you're driving. See, Mallory just got her license, man. I'm preaching this. And I'll tell you what, it used to be when I look at the apps that I look at the most on my phone, it was always Twitter. Now it's Find My. Did she get to school? Where is she? It's always Starbucks. Like, dude,
yeah.
Here's the other honest to God truth. I'm so glad the Apple Pay that's tied onto her watch, her phone is tied to Pam's debit card. It's not mine.
Oof.
She got a job too.
Oh, that's good.
Her first job. Now I told
That's
her to get
exciting.
one. I told her to get one at Dairy Queen, right?
Oh,
Because
of course you did.
her mom worked at she worked at Iggy's, which is a
Oh yeah, Iggy's.
frozen yogurt place in St. Louis. When she
I
was
worked at Iggy's.
Okay, well, so
Well, I got fired from Iggy's too, but that's
I'm
the
just saying, like the whole Bullington clan, like Pam's side of the family, they've all served ice cream. Like Paige worked at Dairy Queen, like, and I wanted to work there because I want to get free ice cream. Right?
Oh my God, no.
I told her, and there's one right down the street from us. Like, you need to work at Dairy Queen. Now she will not work at Dairy Queen. I tried. I've been working her for like 2 years. Like, just go to Dairy Queen's right down the street. Anyway, she got a job at a boutique. Boring. She's going to be like helping like ladies like put together outfits.
Yeah, that fits
totally her.
No,
it's totally her, but boring. Like, dude, make blizzards. Make blizzards for your old man for PBPs, peanut butter parfaits. Help a guy out. Anyway,
nothing for you.
What was the question? I got siddtracked.
What are we doing? Where are we?
Those pictures are
old man talking.
I'm telling you, dude. You start talking about PBPs, man, and you got my attention. But anyway, back to the question. Capture your moment. If you have Memory Maker, you get the photos, correct?
Yes. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, I think my question is yes. After all of that,
what?
All that.
Yes. Tune in next week where we take 3 questions and 45 minutes to answer them. There are 3 stories.
Ramen household, you just experienced it right there.
You just got ramen.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
That was Thanksgiving at the ramen table. All right, Natalie's got a question in the live chat. This may be a long shot, but I mean, so was that last answer. That was a long way around. But do any of you know if
what
Brigsby the green eel is still out at Epcot?
What? I didn't. First of all,
she said he's watched The Magic of Animal Kingdom, so it must be an animal that was featured in one of the Disney Plus, I think, episodes with that.
Maybe in like the
we have a wide audience. This could be
maybe in the Living Seas. Like maybe it's an actual eel. Like,
it says my nephew has watched the Magic of Animal Kingdom episode with Brigsby about 15 times. Really wants to see him in person on our trip in February. Thanks.
Oh, he's a moray eel.
I'm guessing he's an actual eel at Epcot, maybe in the land or the land.
I don't want to meet him now. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, the green eel. I want to meet this guy now.
I have no idea.
Me too.
Here's the thing.
I would ask.
You have a mission tonight.
No, go to the Living Seas. Find out if Brigsby is there. I would ask the cast members at the Living Seas, which is where I assume that the eel would be, if there's a eel named Brigsby, and they will point you hopefully in the right direction.
Well, they'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, it will also probably be the what question. But hopefully, if you ask enough cast members, somebody will know the right answer to that. Because I didn't know there was an eel named Brigsby either. So
I didn't either, but I love it. Yeah, I'm sort of looking through. I sort of Googled as this came up, Natalie, and it looks like there's a video that was as recent as fall of last year where they had the eel feeding happening. So
nice.
Check that out. And I think also whenever you have something like this, like all of our kids tend to latch on to something, right, that they have seen in some kind of video or whatnot. Interact with the cast members who were there. Like tell them. So my daughter was, when she was little, a huge Samantha Brown fan because we were always watching the Travel Channel.
Me too.
Right? Yes, exactly.
Remember, we got to interview her? Hello. Yes. I think she still follows me on Twitter. So, or I should say X. So,
right. So whenever we were out in Disneyland one time and she was doing a special then, and I was like, and Hannah was little then at this point. So I went up and I'm like, okay, I know this is weird, but my daughter loves Samantha Brown, blah, blah, blah. And she got to talk with Samantha and trade pins with her and everything. So just like make sure that you tell the cast member, like, my child loves this eel. And so, yeah. So anyways. I'm
also Googling life expectancy of an eel.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how long they live, but I mean, Brigsby hopefully is still swimming well in the Living Seas.
I hope so too.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I want to see this thing. I'm doing research after this. It's hard to do with all this going on to do research, but man, you've totally piqued my interest.
I know, me too. Next time I'm there, I'm going to be looking for this eel.
Steve, we got a mission for you, right?
Right.
On the monorail. What's the next monorail? You're at the Polynesian.
My brother's in Disney today right now, but he was at Epcot earlier, but he just texted me. He's having a Ronto wrap right now at Star Wars Galaxy.
He's a quick Skyliner ride over to answer the question.
He also got a drink at 50's Prime Time, or I guess I should say the Tune In Lounge. So it looked like a good drink. I don't know.
You guys are all killing me. Okay,
I'm sorry.
Next question. It says 2024 Flower and Garden ending in May ? Mike, longtime listener, first time emailer, sort of, neighboring Wildwood, Missouri. I can throw a stone and hit Wildwood from where we are. We are also new clients of Magic for Less, currently working with Michelle. Shout out Michelle. She's awesome. She covers for my guests when I'm down running. We are a family of 6 Disney veterans with 20-ish trips under our belt and a former Walt Disney World cast member in our ranks. Oldest child is a 2-time Disney College Program alumni. With 2 kids in college and 2 kids in high school, Michelle's helping us plan our last long family trip before our oldest kid joins the real world. We're booked in 2 rooms at Caribbean Beach for 11 nights in late May. We've traveled during this time frame many times over the years, and I loved recent years where Flower and Garden was still going into summer. Epcot is one of our favorite parks, especially with the easy Skyliner access from Caribbean Beach. Now we just saw that Flower and Garden is ending in late May, and we are crushed. I suspect if we think we just talked about how we're excited that it is.
I know, right?
I hate you, Mike. I'm going to come out to Weldon Spring and find your house right across the bridge. Anyway, I suspect there's a desire to drive guests back to Epcot table service restaurants, especially with the return of the dining plan. We've done all 3 past versions of the dining plan, and while we know we know how to maximize its value, we're no longer interested, though we're always used to it. We found we didn't miss it when it came back post-COVID. It's pricey for a family of 6 adults, and it doesn't fit our non-character meal needs anymore. We also, frankly, prefer the variety offered by the festival booths versus the table service restaurants we've done many times before. So here's our question. Do you have any insight into what, if anything, Epcot may offer in the park into those booths during June? Do you think everything festival will just close and stay vacant until Food and Wine starts back up? I know that's what happened years ago, but those old booths were temporarily huts that were just installed and removed versus the permanent structures that Epcot now has installed. We're hoping that something else will be added for summer and that this is not just another Disney cost-cutting move. Our travel dates are not super flexible, so we feel like we're stuck. Side note rant. We're diehard fans, but we can't help but feel like Disney's taking loyalty for granted. We truly love all things Disney parks. We're getting a little disillusioned. Costs are continuing to creep up incrementally, while the deliverables Disney gives us for our money continue to decrease incrementally. Thanks in advance. We love the BOGP crew for your time and assistance. Jane out in Wildwood. So, I mean, she has a little frustration there with the because what's happening is, I think Disney's going back to pre-COVID festival dates.
Yes.
You know, I think they extended it during COVID because times were just wacky, and they're trying to give us some times without festivals.
I agree with that. Yeah. So
What do you think?
I never really thought about it as part of like the dining plan as being tied into that. And I mean, maybe it's true. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily think it is, but hey, you know, possibly they want people to go to the table service restaurants. No idea, but I think they make a lot of money at those booths. So I don't necessarily think that's the case. But that's an interesting thought that I never really put together. So something to think about. As far as, you know, the disappointment, I completely understand. I think, like we said, we talked about it, and we were like, us 3, and, you know, probably Scott as well. Speaking for Scott, I think we're all kind of happy to see things go back to the way that they used to be, because it was kind of nice, or we felt that it was a lot of festival. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of nice that there isn't a festival in the summer. So I don't think that there's going to be a festival in the summer, and I know that's probably disappointing for you guys, especially because that's something that you were looking forward to. And I don't think it's a cost-cutting measure. I just think that, Disney, the reason why they have these festivals is actually to gain revenue during slower times. That's why they invented food and wine to begin with. That's why they invented flower and garden to begin with. Those times were actually, especially food and wine, those times were really slow back in the day. So that's why those festivals were really invented. In the summer, they just don't need a festival to get guests into Epcot. So, that's why there wasn't a festival in the summer initially back in the day. And I think that's why we're coming back into that as well. Like Mike said, we're coming back, after COVID now, and things are starting to adjust back to the way that they were. And so I think that, during COVID, we definitely needed, the extra push, what I'm saying, of people coming into Epcot. But I don't necessarily think that they need it now. So, like I said, the summer was just always a busy time, so they didn't need a festival. Like I said, I don't think it's cost-cutting method at all. I just think that they don't need the extra revenue. They're already getting it because it's summer. So,
I think that's it, Pam. Any other thoughts? Because summertime, summer crowds, right? You don't need festivals during peak season.
I think that actually it does remove some of the congestion that tends to happen at Epcot as we approach the summer. Yeah. And they really do take away some of those booths. They look like, I know, very permanent structures, but some of them just go away. I'm like picturing them like on wheels and pushing them out at some point at night. I don't know. I would love to see how that goes, but yeah, they
do actually. That in the middle of the night.
Yes, this is the thing that I will pay extra to see. Cool. But yes, they do. They remove some of those to remove some of the congestion. I will say we were there the first real weekend of Festival of the Arts, and it was busy. It was, there were a lot of folks there that were, taking pictures, doing whatever. But yes, so it's, I think it is just to remove some of the congestion, and maybe, it will be like the first summer that Luminous is really showing, and they expect to probably see some folks really looking forward to that. So there is a new show. Maybe there will be some other opportunities for entertainment, because when they have a festival, not only is it the food boost, but then there's all these extraneous activities going on too. So maybe they'll have an opportunity for things like that. And maybe you'll just enjoy a slower time at Epcot, that would be a huge bonus too. So yeah, go and enjoy. You'll have a great time.
I agree. And Kelsey says, maybe the plants are also hard to keep going as from spring into summer. Because it's so hot down there.
It requires so much water.
That's true too.
It's got to be an intense job to keep them blooming. They did it, but man, the labor and just they probably got to keep keep refreshing the plants
and I think too all their green initiatives too, that they have a responsibility in that space to conserve when possible, and this may not be meshing with that initiative that they have as a park, especially in Epcot. So something to think about there too.
So last question today. It's so funny because I have it here in the inbox, and Jennifer is here in the chat at the exact same time. So I'll prove it, because in her email that I had pulled up before she even popped into the chat on Facebook, she's from the hometown of Alan Shepard, one of my favorite astronauts. In the email, she mentioned that, just so I can prove to you, Jennifer, that I had your email pulled up in the inbox. It's so wild. But anyway, I guess I'll go with the one that's here in the live chat. Even though she says in the email, though, hey, BOGP crew, love the show, especially love your positivity. No matter what's going on in the Disney community, it's refreshing. So I'll go with that from the email.
We'll take it.
I'll take it from the Facebook comment here. I sent an email, but happened upon live, so I'll ask here. Love the podcast, by the way. Can you take a Mears bus to a resort you're not staying at? We're staying at Saratoga Springs pre-cruise. My husband's coming in after me. We're having dinner at Boma, and it'd be great if we could come directly to Animal Kingdom due to his flight time. Dude, we don't want hubby missing Boma. Boma.
Right, exactly. And if you're looking for one of the reasons why it's awesome that Mears and Sunshine Flyer are now in charge of transportation instead of it being linked so closely to your Disney resort, this is one of those instances, right? They don't care where where you're staying. If you want to take it from the airport to a different resort, that's on you. They're like, I don't know what you're going to do with your luggage there, but good luck. So, anyways, yes, you can take it to whatever resort that you want. So.
And then, so I'm going back to the bouncing back and forth here, Jennifer, because she also continues in the email. Would they hold his suitcase while we have dinner? So what you would do is, I mean, again, this is just, you know, it's like being a secret agent. So he would just take his suitcase to Bell Services, drop it off there like a day bag, check it, like get a little thing, just tell him, okay, I'm going to the parks. Leave it there, go to Boma, destroy it, make sure you have the chowder. It's so good, the corn chowder. Oh my gosh. You guys are killing me with, you're sitting next to Ohana. Ricky's been talking about Captain Cook's before we start recording. I mean, I love Taco Bell night because that's my podcast night meal and I love it. But you guys are just killing me with everything else. And we're talking about Boma. I'm not going to survive. But yeah, have them check it at Bell Services, then go back and get it after dinner. Shell says, thanks, love the Disney talk and the football talk. Send some good thoughts to my New England Patriots. Man, your Patriots are a mess. I don't know who's going to save them at this point, but we'll see. But yeah, Jennifer, appreciate the kind thoughts. And yeah, you should be fine. So your husband should get Boma. Sounds good. I mean, we're all set.
Yeah,
right.
We don't want him to miss Boma.
Oh, no. I mean, that'd be a crime against humanity to miss Boma.
Yes.
I mean, why go to Walt Disney World at that point? You know, well, I mean, they're going on a cruise. They're going.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, there's that.
There's that.
I mean, what you got to do there, I like their strategy, right? You got to get your stomach ready for the cruise.
Bring
right?
your stretchy pants.
Yes, this is true. Boma stretchy pants.
Right,
Boma coma. Yes, you got to have it. Yeah.
You got to Boma like because it's a buffet, like it gets you ready for like a cruise meal because like they just keep be on a cruise like that's a smart strategy. Those New Englanders know what they're doing. That's
it's like Rikki fell off.
Jennifer's not playing. Ricky's struggling tonight, and that's like the fifth thing I'm going to try to edit out with the audio. So we'll do this thing here.
My daughter is downstairs banging.
She's like building something. I think.
Yeah, she is. She's banging measuring cups because that's her favorite thing to play with. They're measuring cups. I bought her everything for Christmas. Measuring cups were the thing that she really loved. So there's that.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to jump out of here, but we're going to be back on Friday. Let me tell you about Friday's show. Speaking of making you hungry and a Taco Bell affiliate, we're talking pizza, but we're not talking Pizza Hut. We're talking about all the ways you can celebrate with a slice at Walt Disney World. I mean, you can go fancy. I had actually a really, really good pizza at Il Molino. Now, let me tell you, there's a secret to Il Molino, something you have to do before you can get a pizza. But you have to come back here on Friday to find out what it is. And it's rare that I do this, but I did for that pizza with Scott and his family. And I mean, you can go cheap Blaze pizza. You can go and pretend you're at a wedding reception for pizza.
Stop giving it all away.
I'm just saying there's lots of ways to get pizza, but we're going to talk about all the ways on Friday. So come back for that show. And then on Sunday night, you can give your favorite pizza indulgences on the call-in shows. That's what we're going to do. All right. So today's show, at all shows for the last bajillion years, brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We're here to help you plan amazing Disney vacations. Just like Len, he's down there living the great life with his family, having a great time, eating it up. Cape May Cafe. He went to Boma. We love cast member shirts. He's doing it right. He's like being an ambassador for humanity down there. I love it. I promise you don't have to send the messages every morning, but you can. We'll help you plan amazing vacations just like that. So to swing by the Magic for Less Travel, bottom line is we're going to get you the best deal possible, no cost to you. And we're going to put that love into that trip just like you want so that you have a great vacation. We're going to do everything we can so that you can make those memories with those people that you love. That's the goal. That's what we do every single day. Every one of our agents, every time, all the time. So just swing by the website today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That really helps us out. And our Patreon supporters, you're kind of like Club BOGP. You support us. You make this happen. $5 a month, not much. It's like a Starbucks coffee. And you really does keep us going. And you get that bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. All right. Social media, you can follow us, Be Our Guest Mike for me, Rikki Nibs for Rikki, TMFLT Pam for Pam. She's living it up, so follow her, especially right now. And Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, I think we'll be able to get Scott back to join us to take your calls, and we'll have a good time. We had so many great calls this past Sunday night, so let's do it again this Sunday night. And then, of course, we'll take off the next Sunday night because everybody will be watching the Super Bowl. I really don't care who wins this time, but, you know, commercials and football and wings and pizza and all the good food. So we'll take Super Bowl Sunday off. All right. So we are going to be back on Friday having fun talking pizza. That's a Detroit thing. Little Caesars. So shout out Scotty G. We miss you. We hope you're okay. But it's just too soon. I haven't even texted the guy. It's so raw still, my buddy, but there's like a bro code, like after something like that you can't even, like, there's no words. So I love you, Scotty G. I love you. So we'll talk to you soon. So stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. People were asking in the chat, is Scott okay? I hope. That was a rough one.
He's here now. So
is he? Oh,
yeah,
he is. Oh my God, he's here. Pizza. Come on in, Scott. Be a part of the show. I'll add you. You want to do it? He should be a part of the show because I was thinking Little Caesars.
That is not good pizza.
It is at the right, if you're in the mood for it. It is.
I had to say a couple weeks ago, I was in the mood, and I have not been in the mood for it in forever. I was in the mood for Pizza Hut, but not like the regular Pizza Hut. No. I wanted a personal pan pizza. So I had a personal pan pizza delivered. The personal pan pizza was fine, but then I had them also deliver mozzarella sticks. I don't know how you screw up mozzarella sticks. It's fried cheese, but somehow they definitely screwed up mozzarella sticks.
Oh, wait.
I was very sad about my mozzarella sticks. I was like, these are going to be awesome.
What am I doing? Scott, you want to do the show? Because I'll add you because I'm resetting everything. Give me a yes or no.
No, if he shows up, he shows up.
Okay, I'll send the link.
All right, see you guys. I guess we're hanging up and then coming back.
So I will send the link. It takes like 2 minutes, so give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, he says it's good.
Oh, dude, you're killing us. Okay.
He needs the time. He needs the time.
He does.
Okay. See you guys soon. Bye.